Hi friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The second game, Resolve, where we are on the final episode. We just went through some investigation with Sholmes and his partner, not Dr. John H. Wilson, but in fact, Professor Mikitoba. And now we have some investigation of our own, apparently, to go through, so let's hop right into it. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Oh good, now I have all of the evidence in my possession. Though, I mean, I technically did before, and I think I went through it and matched the watch and proved that he was there. We've also got the evacuation drill, the sword. Why do we have the sword? Oh, because the tip was missing. Right. And it's in this. We already handled that. I wonder if it'll organize our evidence like it used to do in the other games. We have returned, my dear fellows. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. I think nothing of it. I believe you've had an even more wearing day than Mikitoba and I, no? You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. So, this prosecutor, Sogi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Cousin was changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible to think that he'd even entertain the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Oh yeah, there was all of that happening. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. When all this started, almost a year ago now. Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it really is quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it's another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikitoba. This must be quite a shock for him. Speaking of friends being different than what you expect. Ah, yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. Oh, you've had a reply already? What was so urgent, though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone. Ah, and what a feast it is. If I were none the wiser, I'd think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up. I'm sorry, I see a turkey there. I do not see beef. Did he say, he said beef, right? Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, roast beef, kippers, stew. I don't know what kippers are. Steak and kidney pie. Like, what are you looking at? Am I missing something here? Do we just have all the meals? All the food? In that case, I think I'll sit myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well. Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there. Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yep. And that place is for Susie's daddy. For me. That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Miki. I see. Well, it's terribly kind of you. I think she feels bad for him getting punched and knocked out. It's a shame, really. What do you mean? Well, for a brief moment I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean. Oh! Alright, we're going here then. Iris, do you mean... Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I mean, she was just in the kitchen, wasn't she? Or the next room? Was there even a different room where she was? I secretly listened in on the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left. Oh, boy. What? Sholmes, honestly, your powers of observation should be better. A misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But, actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikitoba are Iris's father. Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite all right. Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So just who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. So then, let us dine, while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious. Eat as much as you like. There are always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan, and about Kazuma. We can't let this opportunity slip away. Is he looking longingly at the pheasant? I think he's looking longingly at the pheasant. Look at that, the trajectory of his eyes here. Oh, apparently, I've already seen this. Is there any food over here? No? Okay, is that the only place with the food? Yeah, I still don't see any sign of the beef and the steak. And everything else. I don't know what a kipper is. I guess Sholmes is the one we're talking to. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Surely it is abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikitoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. That was fast. Quick 180 there. No doubt you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. You owe us some explanations. Let's start with the telegram. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then? Ah, this. I think my lucky stars had arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. Ah, I was wondering when they were going to get back to that. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. The 4 names! We've come across that exact same list before. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be a masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered the fragment of the message. K. Isoki, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So why are the names coming up again now? Yes, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have heard the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of full names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you. And in my name? I wonder what guys he opted for this time. I forgot about Hosonaga. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand. Anyway, the list of names is found in Shishiro's office, as Sholmes predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... It was sent to Judge Jigoku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies. I did formulate a hypothesis about that. It's the most serious expression I've ever seen on him. I guess this is still more serious. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. Ah, hey! Same. We are the same. The same thoughts. This is why I love these games. They are like right at my level. Level of humor, level of thought, processing, and logic. Maybe not the logic. I do struggle sometimes with the logic. Well, he's not going to share until he has evidence. Cool. Anyway. That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria. It was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us, your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan. His remains, you mean? Precisely, Mr. Sato. And then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead. Oh my, you mean... The arrangements between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Osogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in the aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? Terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain. You know what? I'll read it because it's been so long. Because this is the second case of the first game. Wait, I'll read it. I'll read the flashback this time. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Sogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid that the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, sure. But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. So you manipulated me. I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship would drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul into finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Usato and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? Yeah, that's unclear. Are you going to answer that question? The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see? Oh. An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand. We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched, so you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. Kyosogi, Aishin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. How many times are we going to hear that list of names? But we only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top-secret government communications that were leaked. It's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that. Approximately this time last year, in fact. When you were both still in Japan. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes, when he has designs on knowing it. This is a new song. I don't recognize this music. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes! What a fabulous line! Will you stop it? Stop with your starstruckness. He is talking about criminal things. Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient of Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. Wait, how long after? 1 month, okay. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct, and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that would follow. Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names, and the tragedy to which they all somehow connected. As I said when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names, because you see, there was someone else on the list, who I believed to be recently deceased. What? Who? A Shin. As it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asia Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Kei Asogi and T. Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from it. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. But Wilson was killed in Japan, so that... I'm not sure about your logic there, Sholmes. Exactly. So you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. Sorry, Iris. She hadn't heard any of this. So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know. Iris. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. It's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruto. Ah, yes. You mean about Hazel Shin? Oh, of course. Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? Topsy hypothesis. What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned to topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asa Shin was a killer. So this telegram is the list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front. Ah. Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of an assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, a fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, does it not strike you? There is another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student. Wait, you mean... But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean Kazuma? Oh! He did say in court earlier today. Young Mr. Asogi has accepted that mission a year ago. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange. How could Kazuma possibly have gotten involved in something like that? Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But what on earth is the point? You forget, the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Yes. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels. These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguard of the diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Sharps. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins, as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Sashiro Chugoku at all. It would mean so his target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson? So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark. Yeah, I was thinking that as he was saying, like, oh, the assassination of the mark. He wasn't clear on who the mark was. Yes, that's exactly what it would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Sholmes. I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he'd been transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. Alright everyone, that's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time. Quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember. It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor? Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Like, wait, hold on here. Objection. Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runo. Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. You must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Look at that jovial laugh. Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? You'll just have to wait and see. Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths while supposing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. A short one today, guys. There wasn't much to investigate. I guess I could have looked around Sholmes's room a little bit, but I've been getting straight to the point with all of these, so I figured I might as well still get straight to the point. So we'll find out what's going to happen in court as we continue next time. Now that all of these secrets have been revealed. I mean, we could talk about the secrets that have been revealed. I guess I didn't really react to it because this was part of the whole overarching thing that I knew, with what that list of names actually meant, and that they were assassins connected to their victims. A whole thing. And it's weird, though, that... so Sholmes didn't want Kazuma to go to Britain because he thought that he was a victim, and he wanted him safe in Japan. But again, Wilson was in Japan when he was killed. So it's not like it wasn't stretching that far. It would have made more sense if Sholmes knew immediately that Kazuma was an assassin and didn't want him to go to Britain because he was the assassin. But so that's a whole thing. And so clearly, apparently, Kazuma drew his blade on Gregson because his blade is knocked in the case, that metal case, the tip of the blade. There's a whole thing, but Gregson was shot, and then there's the whole thing with Judge Jigoku, and was Gregson trying to kill Judge Jigoku, and so Judge Jigoku was going in self-defense. I don't know. I honestly don't actually know, because I don't remember what exactly happened, because I totally forgot all about Judge Jigoku and his involvement in all of this, and I was kind of flabbergasted with you guys, being like, wait a second, what happened? So, and for the Reaper to be after Judge Jigoku, what did he do? Because that was the whole thing, like, whatever he did in the trial, 6 years ago, with the Professor case, he said some words against the British government, like that was the crime he was being killed for. Like, I don't know. They were saying, like, the most heinous crimes are the ones that the Reaper prosecutes and things like that. But, I mean, I guess it was still the Reaper. Like, it was still Van Zieks that prosecuted that case, so... Anyway. I'm just rambling on, and this is a short one, and I'm going to just let us enjoy the fact of how short this was, because the next part, and especially the last part of the game, whenever it goes through credits, going to be really long. So enjoy this briefer episode, and we'll get our answers soon enough. I'll talk to you guys later.